At some point, we're going to run out of renewable fuel sources. It's just inevitable. They take a long time to form, they take a long time to make. We use a lot of energy. We continue to use more energy year over year as a species. So I'm curious, when is this stuff going to run out? When is it projected to run out? So let's see. Let's see what Grok has to say. Non-renewable fuel sources, primarily fossil fuels, oil, natural gas, and coal, and nuclear fuels like uranium, are finite resources formed over geological timescales. Projections for when we might run out are estimates of remaining reserves divided by current annual consumption rates, known as years of supply at current rates. These are not fixed deadlines. They can extend with new discoveries, technological advances, shifts to alternatives, or reduced demand due to renewables and efficiency gains. Conversely, rising global energy needs from AI centers or population growth could shorten them. Based on recent analyses as of 2025, we are not projected to fully deplete these resources in the near term. Instead, the world is expected to phase them out by mid-century due to climate policies, economics, and the rapid growth of renewables, which already met nearly all new electricity demand in 2024. Fossil fuels still supply over 80% of global energy, but their role is declining structurally. Below, I summarize key projections for major resources. So it's going to break down the availability of oil, natural gas, and coal. For oil, reserves are set at 1.7 trillion barrels. Global consumption is 36 billion barrels a year. That means we would have 47 years remaining at the current reserves. And then for natural gas, we have 6,600 trillion cubic feet. In reserves, we use about 125 trillion cubic feet a year. So that gives us about 53 years. So for natural gas, it's 2078 by the time we would run out. And for oil, 2072. And then for coal, we have 1.1 trillion tons. We use 8 billion tons a year. I mean, that makes sense. Coal's been phased out. We don't really use coal as much anymore. So that would mean we'd have about 114 years left of that at current consumption. So 2139 is when we would run out if we kept at the same pace we have been, but I'm sure that's going to decline. Overall fossil fuels. At current trends, severe depletion below economically viable levels could occur within 50 years for the combined trio, but climate-driven transitions aim for near elimination by 2050 in advanced scenarios. For context, global CO2 emissions from energy peaked in 2024, with 2025 marking the start of a structural decline, largely due to solar PV expansions. Nuclear fuels, uranium. For uranium reserves, we have 6 million tons of recoverable uranium. Annual consumption is about 50,000 tons. Projected years remaining would be about 120 years, assuming no major expansion, or 2,145 is when we'd run out. Breeder reactors or thorium alternatives could multiply supplies 100-fold. Nuclear provides 4% of global energy but faces waste and safety concerns. Growth is modest compared to renewables. Broader context and uncertainties. By 2050, renewables could supply 90% of electricity in net zero pathways, with solar and wind dominating. Global renewable capacity additions hit records in 2024, and costs for solar or wind remain below fossil fuels through 2025. This shift reduces depletion pressure but requires massive infrastructure investment. Population growth and electrification, EVs and data centers, could boost demand by 20 to 30% by 2050, but efficiency measures and policies like carbon taxes are countering this. I believe we're just going to have a huge population decline globally. I mean, I just feel like we're just, that's just my personal belief. So I think as an individual, not as an individual, as a total species, if you're just considering that, we may be using less energy, but I think with AI and data centers and personal energy consumption, I actually think that's going to increase. I think the goal is to try and be consuming as much energy as possible and harvesting as much energy as possible, and that is the defining role of the Kardashev scale. So it'd be very interesting to see. In summary, while physical depletion isn't imminent, decades to over a century away, economic and environmental imperatives will likely render most non renewable sources obsolete well before reserves run dry, potentially by 2050 in optimistic scenarios. Accelerating renewables is now key